Okay, so I guess this week Alex wanted to talk about childhoods. And my first reaction to that was, what childhood? Because I'm pretty sure I was born, 40 years old. Um, but I guess that's not true. I did have a childhood. I just don't remember much of it. Um, let's see, as a child, I was into Star Trek a lot, which I'm not really into so much anymore. But actually, I mean, I don't watch it at all now. But, back then, all the time, knew everything about it. I was also in a chess club in elementary school and in middle school, and I did some tournaments and that sort of thing, and I actually did pretty well. I haven't played in a while now, but I was decent, um, and very popular, obviously, with these activities. Um, what else? So that's about it. I mean, my childhood wasn't terribly exciting, but I'll tell you guys one story. So I'm in kindergarten, and I was going to bed, and my dad was tucking me in, and I asked him because I'd been thinking about this for a while, and I was afraid to ask him, but I asked him anyways. I said, "Dad, is Santa real?" And I was afraid to ask him because if you don't believe, then you don't get any presents, right? So I was afraid Santa would know with his magic, and then he'd be like, "Well, you're not getting anything," and that would be pretty bad in my materialistic, kindergartner mind. So, anyways, uh, my dad was like, "Well, gee, why would you say that?" And I kind of told him my reasons, like, well, this guy, he's got to fit down the chimney. He's got to get to every single house all over the world. Some people don't believe in Santa Claus, and because they're in other countries or whatever, they have other religions, and like, don't they feel a little disenfranchised? I mean, I didn't put it like that, but it was just like a list of these reasons where it was like, yeah, come on. I mean, this guy's got to be pretty magical to get all this stuff done, and I mean, I haven't seen him. I have no proof that he exists except that somebody writes stuff on the presents. Um, and so, my dad could kind of see that I was I kind of knew what was up, logically and everything, and he was like, yeah, it's not really lying though. It's what your mother and I tell you because it's a nice tradition and blah blah blah. But yeah, Santa's not really real. And I was like, okay. So the Easter Bunny, probably doesn't go around to everyone's house really. That's got to be my parents too, right? And my dad was like, yeah, and for the same reasons. I've never seen him. He's got to get around to everybody's house. Different kids get different stuff from the Easter Bunny. Like, just in my mind, there were like all these like contradictions or things that just didn't work out. So I thought about it for a second, and he could tell that the wheels are spinning. So he sat there and was like, "Well, the Tooth Fairy, how does she get through the window? How does she put stuff under my pillow without me noticing? Why do different kids get different amounts of money? You know, what does she really want my teeth for? The tooth fairy can't really be real, right? That's got to be you guys." My parents are like, "Yeah, that's us too, But pretty logical of you to think of that. You can't see her. You have no proof she exists. Doesn't really make sense. It's one of those things that we tell you guys because it's a nice tradition, whatever." It's like, oh, so God's not real then either, huh? My dad was like, "Oh." So, he had to kind of explain that one. He was like, no, 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 even, okay, so you can't see God, and you don't have any reason to believe that he exists except that we tell you, just like we told you Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny exist. And he's actually never even given you any presents, or quarters under your pillow, or chocolate bunnies or anything. But, so you have probably less reason to believe that he exists than, Santa Claus or something. But no, really, he exists, he exists. You just have to believe us on this one. And so, that sort of got my lifetime spiritual journey off to a rocky start, you could say. Straight from kindergarten, already questioning God. And, you gotta admit that it was a pretty logical reason to do so. But so anyways, when I say I was born like a 40-year-old person, um, I just, I really wasn't into like a lot of kids stuff. I didn't really think like a kid, I guess. Kind of just everything like, well, why do kids want to do that? It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. Or, Tooth Fairy. So, anyways, I'm going over 5 minutes now. Not that anybody cares, I guess, because now we have like 10-minute videos. But it's all good. You guys are interesting, more interesting than me. So, but yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say. So, that's my childhood, and I don't know if you really want to know more about it, you can ask me. But I suspect that's about all anybody would want to know. So, have a good night.